Live drum practice number 12, doing more free falling and some back in black. We're going to pick it up kind of where I left off last, do a little review. So if you need more time reviewing stuff, watch the last video, or 2 videos ago is free falling, and number 11 would be back in black. So full speed of the song is 85 BPM. I'm going to start at 65, make that a little bit part of my warm up and just get back into the groove of this. So establish these eighth notes. So again, I like to use this song for somebody who's learning drums for the first time. There's a lot of like just walking through this, and even if you just put in the kick drum, so 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, or just put the hi-hat in the snare. Whatever you can do right away to play along is going to help you put all those dots together. All right, I'm going to do a couple more at 65. So hear that tempo, 2, 3, eighth notes. All right, let's speed that up. Now, if you guys need the sheet music, or you want to help us create more videos like this, or even write more tablature, please sign up at musicbythemeasurespro.com. It helps us out. Put some change in our pockets to help write more sheet music for you guys. All right, 75. Again, establish those eighth notes. And think about as you're doing that, like minimize your hand movement. So I'm not going, just relax and smooth. Let's get up to full speed already. Again, not spending a lot of time on this because I've already done a couple of videos. If you guys need more time, there's a loop video I made. I think I made this at like 60% speed, which is just a nice slow pace for you to kind of get the mechanics down. All right, 85, same thing. Let's get this. So quarter notes. Eighth notes. So I'll tell you what I have a problem with sometimes is rushing that eighth note. So dropping my stick too. So now that I have that back, just sitting here getting that groove and not having anything else go on is great. and then jump back into just that kick. It helps me tighten everything up. So let's do that with metronome. Be a good little exercise. All right, now just keeping the loop going. Cool. All right, let's review this drum fill, which is probably like the first drum fill everyone should be learning. You're coming from this very simplistic 1 and 2 and 3 and, right? What the song's actually starting with. 4 and da. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da 1. All right. Again, I'm going to quit repeating myself, but I do it a lot. I do it in lessons as well. I broke this down a lot in an earlier video, so if you need more help, go to that video. So we're actually going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da. Let's just talk about it again, though. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and let's do this because it'll be good for me to do as well. So I'm going to add an aspect every time. So I'm going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, then I'm going to add 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Cool, and then I'll add the next measure. So let's just do a little bit of that. Snare. Now with the toms. All right, so let's go over the measure that we have after that. We have a crash and kick on 1. So 1 and 2 and. All right, let's do that all at 7. Now let's go to 65. I'll be nice to myself and you. Slow it down just a little bit. You might be saying to yourself, 65 is not that much slower. It's not, but it's slow enough that it like helps you just sit on the groove a little bit. Cool. Let's do 75. So just hi-hats. Just because I can hear myself speed up a little bit on that offbeat kick, that I need to, calm myself down enough to just not rush after you go. Which is very common to do when you're coming from a drum fill, to like anticipate and just push the beat a little bit. Something that you really want to work against. All right, full speed. Just do hi-hat for a sec, get that groove. Cool. So those are the main two sections we're going to start with, and kind of what I covered in the last video. So let's see what else is in this song. Let's grab this tempo marker because we're going to want that. So again, why I like teaching this song in the beginning, it's a lot of the same beat. And now you could actually use that fill that we just had over and over again if you wanted to, but there are more fills. Now, this one throws off students a lot when I teach it to them. I think one of the big reasons is, and I've been doing this a lot in lessons, like where do you start your fill? Now this fill starts on the end of 3. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and. And for whatever, I don't even teach the foot hi-hat on this. I just, is enough to get everyone mixed up. So we'll spend some time on this one, and I'll send this video to my students and say, learn this and get better. So let's go to 60. And let's just piece by piece break this down. So we're going to kind of ignore, we're going to ignore the crescendo for one, because we're just not going to handle that at this point. We're going to get this 1 and 2 and. Since that's already been covered in the song, I don't think we have to spend any time on that yet. So we really have 3 and the 4 and the 3. All right, so all of a sudden I know that 60 is a little too fast. When I'm doing these, I really want time to just think. Like I want to go so slow that it's like, got to count on the right beat. 3 and the 4 and the 3 and the. And again, dynamics don't matter yet. as we get comfortable, we'll put those in. Right now, it's just like, hey, can I play it in time? Now, because I kind of hate myself and I love challenges, and maybe I like challenges too much, and I don't spend time on what I should be, but that's a different story for a different time. I'm actually going to work on putting those foot hi-hats in. So 3 and 4 and they're really not that hard. They're hard if you haven't spent time on it, and I haven't, but now is the time to do that. So let's get our hands going first, then we'll teach our feet what to do, and then we'll put it together. 3 and 4 and So I know that's really repetitive. 3 and 4 and 3. As we speed it up, I might go like 1 and 2 and 3, which would actually be really good to get the groove down and to hear where it fits inside the measure before we work on speeding it up. I know when I do like small loops like 3 and 4, and it's tough to go 3 and you just feel like you're in the way of yourself because you don't have enough time to get back. So that's my overthinking going on. So overthinking thinking. Let's go down to 50. I mean, obviously you can hear, I'm not justifying it for myself, but you can hear that it's playable for me at 55. Pat on the back, kudos to me. But it's not slow enough where I can just like kind of plot out how I want to think about this. It's not slow enough where I can put the foot hi-hat and feel comfortable. So again, this song's at 85 BPM, slowing it down to 50. No big deal. Just do it. So same thing, starting with hands, and then I really like that we go 3 and 4 and 3. Also feels like something good to practice. So I'm going to try to alternate from my hands to feet, hands to feet, hands to feet. After I get the feet. Nope, after I get the hands established. And if playing this is too hard for you, that's not a problem. What you want to do is just sit here and click that out. Last time I stop, or probably not. One thing that I think is so great for you, if you don't know how to read these notes, it's not a problem yet. It'll be a problem down the road. But if you can go, you can teach yourself this rhythm. As soon as you teach yourself, then you go. That's that same rhythm. Obviously, we have to alternate hands, blah, blah, blah. That shit doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. Gives you that idea. 3 and 4 and 3. Okay. Let's do it at 50. And 3 and 4 and Let's try feet. Well, there's one hand and the rest feet. So it's 3 and 4 and. All right. So before I try to do that with click, let's try that by myself. So it's 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a. One extra one. I do find that process to work quite well. I know that's a backwards sentence. Hands by themselves, feet by themselves. Then ignore metronome. Put this together. 3 and a 4 and a. Up. 3 and a 4 and a. You know, I'm recoaching it to my foot and my hands, really, to like here's how they put together. It's very akin to like learning piano. Right hand, left hand separate, then put them together. Right hand, left hand separate, then put them together. It's that back and forth of hands, hand and feet, but just one beat on the hands. 3 and 4 and then putting together. 3 and 4 and 3. And then if I get close to kind of that 55 or 50 BPM metronome speed, then when I put it together with metronome, it'll kind of like, it'll suck. I'll be bad at it, but I won't be bad at it for long. I really think that's probably the key for music. You're going to be bad. You're just, how long do you want to be bad at it? 3 and 4 and 3 and So I got to watch that I don't put that beat on 3, but other than that, I feel like I have a pretty good job, pretty good idea of it. 3 and 4 and So gotta watch that I'm not putting that hi-hat on 3. Again, it's not gonna be an issue when I put this all together because I'll have a crash after it, or I'll be working on this whole measure. So again, watch that. But all right, so let's try this. Let's speed it up a little bit and then try that whole measure. Kind of wonder if I should put that crash in afterwards. Nah, we'll ignore it. So it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Um, I'm thinking it's a little difficult for me sometimes. So I feel like 55 is like the right amount of slow for this. We'll just see how it goes. And 3 and 4 and so click this out. 3 and a 4 and a. All right, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Whenever I don't suck, I feel pretty good about stuff. Let's just go up by fives. Now, I get it. I haven't gone to back in black yet, and I will in a minute. Really, there's only a couple measures in that I want to work on for tonight anyway. So I'm fine spending 30 minutes on just this and having fun. I like the puzzle aspect of all these instruments. Like what's the best way to process this? What's the best way to figure this out? Okay. And then it's fun to see, especially if you go back 3 videos ago, or even go back to my drum practice lesson number 1 or whatever the heck I call these things. The puzzle gets quicker to be figured out. Grammar's tough for me. And that's the challenge that I enjoy. And that's why I can just sit and like play this for 10 minutes and not care. So let's see if I can continue to do that and play it well. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a. All right, 65. Three and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a. My brain froze. All right, 70. We're going to try 70, just this one measure, and then I'm going to try to put both that into the chorus together. I could just change it up a little bit. And get it going together before I get up to 85. Two and three and a four and a... Made a couple dumb mistakes there between not hitting the hi-hat or, I don't know, skipping something. But let's put those together. One and two and three and a four and a one and... All right, I'm enjoying that. Let's go to 75. All right, maybe some rushes on some places I shouldn't have. But we need to move on. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing that all night and not enjoy it. But kind of have to get this done for somebody else, too. All right, so Back in Black, full speed is 95 BPM. I'm going to kind of do the same thing I did with Free Fallin'. I'm going to review a little bit of this beat for myself and for you guys. So it's kind of like a double warm-up. Let's try 60 BPM. Basic rock beat, which is awesome. Like, you got to know this beat. So what they're doing is going kick and snare and kick and snare and working on fixing my posture as I play as well. I'd like to, who doesn't, right? All right, let's hear how fast or slow 60 BPM is. 1 and 2 and... So let's speed that up, but let's put this crash measure in. Actually, we'll do these 3. This little sign here just means repeat measure. Repeat the last measure you played. Let's turn this up to 70. So this first measure here has this double crash 1. This kind of screws up a lot of people too because it's a quarter note. Instead of going 1 and right, we're going 1, 2, and. Okay, so just something to watch out for. Two, 3, 4. All right. Feel like we can just jump up to 80. Three, 4. All right, so I feel like 80's fast enough. Now, I don't want to do this next part because last time I spent like 20 minutes on it. And it's a good, frustrating thing to play. And like mentally, I'm like, okay, well, actually, that was fun to spend all that time on free falling, but now my brain's a little tired. I'm going to force myself to do like 5 minutes of this just to reiterate it, get it back into my head, make it easier for me to teach in the future. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll have fun. Okay. So 1 and is where we're starting. Let's slow that down. 1 and 1 and. All right, then we have 2E, 3, That's where I screwed up last time. So let's not worry about all that. 2E, 2E, So we got 1. I'm going to slow down for myself and for anybody who didn't watch the last video. So on beat 2, right here, 2, and then we have a kick and a loose hi-hat. So it's, and I like that da-da. Da-da is our rhythm. And again, what I like about teaching this song right away, it's iconic. That da-da, da-da, da-da. Like we can hear that. We can replicate that. We can mimic it, I guess is a good way to say it as well. 1 and da-da, da-da, da-da. 1 and da-da, da-da, da-da. Now, where I struggled the other day, and I got it near the end, but I haven't played drums in like 4 days or 3 days or ever. It just took me a bit to get the metronome timing. So I'm hoping I can pick that up a little bit quicker than I did last time. 1 and 2. All right, so let's do the first half with metronome, and we're just going to get a nice little loop going, like 1 and 2E. Except I'm not going to close that. 1 and 2E. It's a weird loop. Let's see what we can do. We'll try to play it once and then pause, once and then pause. Even if I can get the click going with that, that'll be enough for me. And 2E. So 55 might be a little fast. 1 and 2 E, a 1 and 2 E. Now, it's annoying when I stop and have to find that spot again, but it's so important to be able to hear that. Just even with this clicking of the sticks, if I can get 1 and 2 E, 1 and 2 E, if I can do that, if I can hear that rhythm, I can then teach to the rest of my body. 1 and 2 E, That foot's misbehaving, but we're going to ignore him. 1 and 2 E, 1 and 2 E, You know, some of that extra foot stuff that's not happening right now will be easier when I do the whole measure. All right. Same thing. E, 1 and 2 E, 1 and 2 E, E, 1 and 2 E, 1 and. Okay. See if I can do. Yeah, what gets me, and it's fair that it gets me. If you look at this kick drum, right, it's going 3 E and I think my brain saw that dotted eighth note, and then I shifted that last snare over before. I shouldn't say last snare. I shifted this snare over. But this is 3. So, right? Everything here is 3. 3 and 3 and I'm not even going to play what I thought it was the other day and played wrong enough times that got stuck in my head. So just have to think of 3 and 3 and Look at the hands over top. The hands are telling you 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and You can even hear I like to get that 3 a little long. 3 and 3 and 3 and Let's try that. So it's 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and E and 3 and E and 3 and E and meep 3 and E and. All right, let's see. I do this sometimes when I count stuff out over and over again like that. I oftentimes will like hold that 4 a little bit longer. I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. So that's why it's so important to put that metronome back in and play it a couple times with that. Click it out, see if I can hold that rhythm and see if everything fits. 3 and 4 E and 3 and So oftentimes when I was putting this whole measure together last time, it didn't fit because I was again taking that last snare of that run and just pushing it over. So now 3 and E and 3 and E and 3 and Okay. Click it out, then try to play it. Nice slow tempo. 3 and 3 and 4 E and 3 and 4 E and 3 and E and. All right, so you can hear that I'm not hearing it. 3 and E and. Maybe I am there. 3 and 4 E and 3 and 4 E and. Maybe I have to count that 4 just to hear it better. 3 and a 4 E-N, 3 and a 4 E-N. Three and a 4 E-N, 3 and a 4 E-N, 3 and a 4 E-N, and a 4 E-N, 3. Okay, so the good news is, I don't want to stop it one more time. The good news is when I'm clicking it, I can hear it. And then I go to play it on the drum set, it's not there. Three and a, 3 and a, 3 E and a, 3 E and a, 3 and a. Shoot. All right. So I might just be getting to the end of my practice, and that's okay. We covered a lot today, and I'm happy with it. One, but knowing me, I just want to try a couple more times. But I'm going to resist that. I don't want to do something else tonight yet either as well. So it's 1 and 2 E, a 3 and a E and. We're going to try to do that whole measure at 55. See if we fall apart or not. 3 and a 4 E and 1 and 2 E, a 3 and a E and. See, I gotta watch that. I'm trying to put that on 4. 1 and 2 E, a 3 and a disaster, and that's okay. I might just leave that tonight as a disaster, and knowing that that's what I need to pick up. I need to pick up on that fresh tomorrow or the next day, and put the brain power to that, because right now there's not a lot of brain power left. So again, if you guys need these songs, it's at our website, musicbythemeasurespro.com. Memberships help us make more songs, more sheet music, more tablature, and it helps us make more videos. So we would love to do more of this and love to help you guys learn whatever you want to learn. We just need your help. All right, you guys